Hello, welcome to a BW Businessworld dialogue. Today we have a guest who really doesn't need an introduction. I was influenced by his thought processes and his books when I was in the business school and growing up, which is 30 years back. He's continued to reinvent himself, be contemporary, and the message that he has is still relevant, and dare I say even more relevant today, because it's about the basics. Let me welcome on BW Businessworld Dialogue Mr. Shiv Khera. He's an author, thinker, management guru, motivational speaker, an educator, a trainer. He's lived many lives in one life. We're talking to him because his new book is out. It's called Live While You're Alive. It has 59 chapters in it. Let me start by asking Mr. Khera. Mr. Khera, why this book? Why now?
Today, what has happened, stress is a reality. By the way, it was a reality even before. And it is both normal and natural. And stress cannot be delegated either. I mean, if I have stress, I can't delegate my stress to you. I have to face it myself. So being a reality, and for the last few years, the depression rate all over the world, at least in the US, has gone up by 400%. 400%. And stress is causing major issues in terms of our health, relationship, at work, at home, divorces. There are so many things that are happening, and everything, the root cause is stress, because we are not able to handle it. If we are able to handle stress well, we can live a very meaningful life, and if we are not, we lead to self-destruction. Now, all I can say to you is, Anurag, stress is a reality. Now, if you go to a race course, you find the thoroughbreds, when they are taken to the cabin, they're not walking straight, relaxed, comfortable. They are veggie, edgy, and jumpy like this. They're jumping. Why? They're under heavy stress. They put them into the cabin. And the moment the bell rings and the door opens, bang! They run. They perform. That's a thoroughbred. But if you take a jackass to the race course, this jackass walks so relaxed, so comfortable, he is not jumping up and down like the racehorse. But then, for the rest of his life, he will remain a jackass and he will never perform like a thoroughbred. So what is the moral of the story? Stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred. Remember, stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred. That's what makes us perform. A public speaker in front of people, is he under stress? Answer is yes. If he was not, do you think he can perform? An athlete before he gets into the Olympics, is he under stress? Heavy stress. If he was not, he will never be able to perform. See, Anurag, all of us can handle stress. What we cannot handle is chronic stress. That starts destroying us. There's a little example. A professor had a glass of water in his hand and he asked the students, how heavy do you think this glass is? They said half a pound, maybe a pound. He said, if I hold it, it's no big deal. He said, no big deal. But if I hold it for an hour, my hand will start paining a little bit. Now, if I hold it for 2 hours, I'll start developing cramps here and it'll start paralyzing. And if I hold it for more, that means it'll be even worse. So that means what? And all through, the weight of the glass has not changed. Only I extended holding it long enough. Stress is the same thing. We can all handle stress in a short run. But when it becomes permanent, that starts destroying us. That becomes like a termite. It eats the tree from inside till it destroys the tree. This is what termite, and that is what chronic stress is all about. So I felt it was the need of the hour, and that's why I put it right there.
Now, you also say this book gives you a toolkit to overcome that stressful life. What is the toolkit? Give us the top 3 things a leader can do, a professional can do, a CXO can do, a manager can do to deal with stress?
Anurag, if you go into the marketplace, and there's so many books written on stress, and by and large, the most I've read, they talk of all deep breathing, relaxing, meditation, do meditation. Even the gurus, Swamijis, Babajis, all these, they're talking of meditation and all that stuff. But you know something? My book is addressing stress totally from a different perspective. You see, I'll share with you a little story. A young couple went to Mauritius for a vacation. They had a 5-star hotel, 7-star service, excellent. And as they walked into the room, the wife saw the room was not facing the sea. So this annoyed her. She created a fit and a ruckus, called the receptionist, "I want a sea-facing room." He said, "Ma'am, we looked at your record. When you booked the hotel, you never gave a specification that you want a sea-facing room. Otherwise, we would have given it to you. And now the hotel is totally booked and packed. We have no place." She called the general manager, who said the same thing again. And then the husband started explaining to her that, look, sea-facing is not the big deal. Our objective was to be together and bond between us. And this lady says, now you also not seeing things from my point of view, you are also supporting hotel, which is ridiculous. And they had a tiff between themselves. For 5 days, they did not speak to each other, did not have dinner together, and they didn't do any sightseeing. And 5 days they stayed there. What was to be a memorable vacation became a nightmare. Now my question is, who created the problem? Who created the stress? Was it called for? Was it avoidable? Look, this is our attitude. And sadly, today, many counselors, professionals, even doctors, they say, oh, change your scene, go to the mountains, go to the beaches, it'll change your stress level. No, no, no. With this kind of a negative attitude, you can go wherever you want, you will carry your stress everywhere. You will take it to the mountain, you will take it to the beaches, you will mess up no matter where you go and what you do. This is our attitude. So my book is addressing mindset. You can do all the breathing you want, breathe 100 times and do all your meditation. You can't even do that stress unless you have the right attitude.
Absolutely. You also talk about another story in the book where the wife doesn't wake up the husband because she wants him to rest and he's upset.
That's
and
right.
then next day she wakes him up in time, he's still upset.
Yeah.
So it's your own attitude that really governs life.
Yeah, this is toxic thinking. This is toxic thinking. So what do you do? And one of the biggest causes of stress is, Anurag, today, trying to please everybody all the time. I repeat, trying to please everybody all the time. 1, it is not possible. 2, it is not called for. It is not called for. What are we trying to prove here? Are we looking to get acceptances everywhere? Are we looking to get validation from outside? You validate me, I feel good. You don't validate me, I feel lousy. Well, who's controlling my life? Outside world, you are controlling. Is this the way I want to live? Answer is no. So we have, now that doesn't mean that a person should not be a caring person. Not pleasing everybody does not mean that I become careless. Caring is very important. But we must keep things in perspective. What do we need to do? How do we need to do? And that is the crucial part.
Now there are 59 chapters in the book and each one of them has a story and it has a workbook or the learning, the key takeaways so that you can implement. It's not about the knowledge. It's a toolkit for implementing. There's a chapter on sleep. You talk about, preparing for sleep. You talk about lowering the lights, having the lamp on. You read 10, 12 pages every night before you sleep.
I used to, though I have faltered on that as of now, but I am getting it back, but every night before I sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, I listen to some motivational and good YouTube messages every night and in the morning too. And that is very helpful. It's an enlightening thing to me. See why? See, when you wake up in the morning and you feed your mind with positive information, you know what happens? Body is rested, mind is relaxed, subconscious is receptive, and you feed your mind with positive things, it sets a tone for the entire day. And same thing at night. You coming to sleep, body is relaxed, resting, subconscious is receptive, you feed your mind with positive information all night. Conscious mind closes, subconscious is open, and it keeps working. I'll give you an example, and I bet you can relate to it. Has it been a time in your life you had to catch a train or a plane in the morning at 6? You instructed your mind, I must wake up at 4 o'clock. Without the clock, did you wake up? So what is this? This is, you instructed your mind, it obeyed. Without the clock, it obeyed. And this little principle we talk about in our 4-day leadership program, Elaborate. This little principles has been studied by many angles, psychologists, psychiatrists, and so on. They say if I instructed once, my mind obeyed. What if I instruct my mind every night? What if I instruct my mind 5 times a day? People are changing behaviors. Their lives are changing. Look, there are solutions. There are ways of how to do it. But sadly, most people don't know how to do it. And today also I see many spiritual gurus, so-called Babaji, Gurujis and all, and they are misleading people. Many times people go to them and they say, sir, I have a problem, I get angry, I want to get rid of my anger. And you know what they are saying to these devotees? Keep repeating, I don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry. You know what? This is counterproductive. His problem is only going to go up. What is he thinking of? Permanent anger. Now, I'll share with you why this is faulty, totally faulty. See, any picture we hold in our mind becomes reality. Okay? Now, you notice in the airline industry, there was a lady, and she had 2 boys. They were running around the swimming pool. She kept telling them, boys, keep running on the grass. Now, this is unusual instructions. Most of the time, it is wet concrete out the swimming pool. People run around, they could slip and they could fall. What do most parents say? Don't run around the pool, you'll fall. But she was saying, boys, keep running on the grass. So somebody asked her, ma'am, very unusual instructions, how come? She said, I'm an air hostess, this is part of my training. Because whenever there's an emergency up in the air, we always say, we never say, don't panic. The moment we use the word don't panic, picture of what? Panic comes in and everybody panics. We always say, please stay calm. Now, I bet you must have heard this before, but you see, sadly, they are teaching wrong instructions, and they keep telling them, if they are smokers, they say, keep repeating, I don't smoke. If they want to get rid of anger, they keep saying, I don't get angry. What is the picture? You don't understand. They are ruining their careers. Right. And they call so-called experts, including people who have big followings. I think they should be thrown out.
Mr. Khera, we are doing this on 13 January. Today is Makar Sankranti. It's a very auspicious day. There's been the Ganga Snan. But the last week was also a very interesting week because you have 2 chapters and they relate to. Your one chapter says, work hard before playing hard. Second is you talk about work hard but don't burn out. Last week there was this controversy on a 90-hour week, and somebody famous has talked about a 70-hour week. What is your view on this?
I personally feel that working hard is important Without that, nobody is able to accomplish anything in this world. You look at the life histories of people who have performed in life. I'll just give you an example of Michael Phelps. You see, swimmer. And when he won 8 gold medals and became the champion, press people said, must be your lucky day, must be your lucky day. Michael Phelps didn't like it. He said, in the last 4 years, I've trained 10,000 hours. And if you're good at maths, that translates into 2,500 hours per year. And if you're good at calculus, it translates into 8 hours per day, no Sunday. 8 hours per day, no Sunday. That is 56 hours per week. And he said, luck is not designed to deliver you these things in life. Athletes train 15 years for 15 seconds of performance. Go ask them, did they get lucky? Luck is not designed to deliver you these things in life. There's no substitute to hard work. This is especially for the today's generation who say, don't work hard, work smart. My friend, you got to work hard and you have to work smart. It will not work without that. Let me ask you, if you could become a neurosurgeon by taking a weekend course, what will happen? They'll be chopping your head on the streets. If you could become a black belt in martial art by taking a weekend course, what is going to, you're going to be beaten up on the street. If you could become an expert musician by taking a weekend, it doesn't work that way. Now, I understand that we all are looking for balance. And the average CEO today, probably in India also, in US, I just had the statistics, they work 55 to 60 hours, 70 hours per week. This is average CEO in the US. More than 55, 60 hours. It could be 60, could be 70, I don't know. But there is no substitute to hard work. Yes, I understand 90 hours is a little on the higher side, it is too much. We need the break also. But one cannot shirk hard work. 50, 60 hours is not that bad either. It is not that bad. We have to put in. And can you always bring a balance in your work and home life? Let me ask you, you go to look at startups and you are working with a lot of startups. Tell me, all these startups, when they tell me how many hours are they putting in? 12, 14 hours, no startup takes off without that many hours. So what happened? You have imbalance, you are putting more hours into startup. Is it balanced? No. But now let me ask you, supposing you have a close relative in the hospital. Now from work, you go to the hospital. Now you are spending 12 to 14 hours in the hospital. Is this balance? That is imbalance too. My friend, it is an ideal thing to have a balance. It doesn't work. Yes, our objective is always to maintain a balance in our priorities. Priorities, which is our greatest priority in the world, our health. Greatest priority, it is not my parents, it's not my children, it is not my work, it is nothing. I'm dead. So first priority we need to pull out 15, 20, 30 minutes per day or per every second day. But there are stupid people. Irrational, stupid thinking. You know what? You ask them, why aren't you exercising? You know what he says?
I don't have the time.
No. You know what he says? He says, if I'm in good health, I don't need to exercise. But if I am sick, I can't exercise either ways. So how do I do it? Now, this is called a combination of ignorance and stupidity. That is recipe for disaster. Repeat, this is combination of ignorance and stupidity. Recipe for disaster. And there are people like that too.
Mr. Khera, just to build on something you always talked about, skill and will when it comes to the competence and performance of team members in a company. Rajiv Bajaj has said that as CEOs, if we only look at number of hours, that's the wrong parameter. It's the quality of work each one does. And what do you have to say about the quality of work that leaders are getting from their people in organizations?
Anurag, what is today missing is the quality of work. And today the biggest challenge all over the world people are facing is two things: trust and accountability. I bet you are facing that, I face that, we all face that. Two challenges are trust and accountability. These are two things that are crucial. And what is missing today, they do a slipshod job. Chalta hai, it'll go, carry on, it'll work. No, you see, it will never work. You see, this is the difference between a laborer, a craftsman, and an artist. A person who works with the hand is a laborer. A person who works with the hand and the head is a craftsman. A person who works with the hand, head, and the heart is an artist. So unless we bring everything to the point of being an artist, we can never do a good job. Never. This is what we call the taking pride in performance. Many years ago, the world record on high jump used to be 7 feet 4 inches. High jump, not pole vault. Folks, how can a person clear a bar 7 foot 4? Boy, 4 foot 7 is tough. So somebody asked a champion, how do you clear a bar 7 foot 4? And Anurag, if this is the only message you can convey to your people today, it will be worth it. And the answer was, the champion said, I throw my heart over the bar and my body follows. Beautiful. I throw my heart over the bar and my body follows. This is what we call pride in performance. You see, people who take pride in their performance, they hold themselves accountable to much higher standards of performance than others do. This is an integrity issue. I repeat, people who hold themselves accountable, people who take pride in performance, they hold themselves accountable to much higher standards of performance than others do. And one more thing that is we're facing all the time is people who work and they join your company and they say, well, I will try, I'll give it a shot. I'll try, I'll give it a shot. You know something? Never hire people like that. They're not committed. I'll try. You have trial marriages, you go get married, trial marriages, go trial medicines, trial surgeries. It doesn't work.
You have to be
That is non-committed, because problems are bound to happen. Everywhere, all of us are going to have problems. But you see, people who are not committed, the moment they come across the first problem, they quit. They pack up. No wonder you have attritions in companies today. Where is the stickability? No commitment. You pay a few bucks more, the guy packs up. So when you have situations like this, where are the loyalties? Where are the loyalties? And when people have attitude like this, can you depend on them? Can you trust them? Can you trust them? Answer is no. See, many times you hear that we have a skill gap. No, we don't have a skill gap. We have a competency gap. See, what is the difference? Skill is an ability. Competence is ability along with the willingness and the desire to do the job. Now let me ask you, if you have a person with all the ability in the world, but if they're not dependable, do you want them? See, what it really means is ability without dependability is a liability. And that's what we need to bring in today in our organization to work long haul. You see, look at what the integrity levels are there. People come in with their mobiles, And during office hours, they spend 2, 3, 4 hours on their personal social media. Is that what you're getting paid for? This is called stealing. Wages without work amounts to stealing. You know something, Anurag? We got to get the basics right again. We got to get the basics right.
Absolutely, Mr. Khera. You talk about some of the basics. Prepare, know if you're going for a meeting, prepare for it. You do your due diligence. That's what chapter is. You talk about two important things. One is don't react, respond. Second, you also talk about the fact that, mental health is very important. Don't burn out because you're not finding time for anything, reflection, thinking. Let's talk about these two things. You, of course, talk about the value of time, respecting other person's time and your own time. These are very simple things. They were relevant 40 years back and they're relevant today. So where are we? How come these things are not getting into play? People are going to business schools, they're going to training programs, the organizations have induction programs. Where is the gap? Why is it not getting into their thinking, into their fabric?
Let me ask you, what we just spoke in the last half an hour, show me one educational institution, business school that is teaching all this stuff. None of them are teaching this. Not one. They're not. And now let me reverse from the point where you started. Time is more precious than money. I repeat, time is more precious than money. In our office, we have a policy, nobody is allowed to bring their mobile into our office, in a conference room. Nobody, including me, my children, my nobody is allowed to bring their mobile in our conference room. Now, why is that? Let me ask you, supposing I keep my mobile and you are in my conference room, and even if I put it on silent or somewhere, the message keeps coming up there and my attention gets diverted. Tell me, is it courteous to you or discourteous?
Of course.
It is ill-mannered. And 3, if I get diverted, my attention gets diverted, tell me, and you are sitting there, am I not wasting your time? Do I have a right to do it? So I have no right to waste your time, so I will keep my mobile outside. But I will not let you waste my time either. You better keep your mobile outside too. I will not tolerate that. We had a member of parliament some time ago. He said, can I bring it? I said, no, sir. Can't. I don't care who you are. Keep it outside. Look, there are certain basics that we need to get straightened out. Now, let's talk in terms of respond and react. John was going to the office, had an accident, a fender bender, came out, got mad, and he shouted, you ruined my day, you ruined my car, you ruined this, ruined that. And with a bad mood, he reached the office and he said, what a bad day, I'm unlucky, I've had an accident. And he shouts at all his office people, and as secretary, everybody, the atmosphere in the whole office becomes stressful and tense. And everybody's productivity went down, quality and quantity worked down because they were under heavy stress. Now, John's secretary was there and she was upset. She went home. She had her son who was looking forward to meet the mother. And as he came in lovingly, she said, oh, I'm in a bad mood. Go away. Now, that guy who was expecting so enthusiasm felt bad. Now, he sat down in the room, and they had a dog, puppy dog, who came to play with this kid, and this kid was upset. He said, you get out! And he kicked the dog, and the dog sent there. Look at this. What happened in the office carried home till night, and the last dog also got impacted. This is called reaction. Another guy had an accident. The car rolled 3 times. He came out of the window and said, boy, what a lucky day. What a lucky day. Yeah. And he went to the office and he called everybody and he said, what a great day and what a lucky day. Time to celebrate. And he immediately emanated the positivity everywhere. Quality and quantity of work went up. Now look at this. Same incident, which was beyond control of these people. It was beyond control, but look at the change, how it happened. One reacted, the other responded. Now, this is very clear. You go to a doctor, you go back to see the doctor, and the doctor asks, how are you feeling? The medicine that I gave you, how is it working on you? The man says, I'm feeling much better. What does the doctor say? That means you are responding to the treatment. But if a person goes to the doctor and doctor asks, how is the medicine working out? He said, Doc, I got rashes, I got allergies. He says, what? The medicines had reacted on you. So we need to change the treatment. See, response is positive. Reaction is negative. Same event. We need, what is this attitude? Now you can do meditation, breathing all you want, nothing will work.
You know, it takes me to a chapter in the book. You talk about accepting responsibility.
Yeah.
I think in India, I see young people, I don't want to generalize, but some young people, they don't take responsibility.
Many young people, don't be modest, many young people, they don't want to accept responsibility. You know why? They are born in a silver spoon. I'm not talking of the whole country. There are many people who are not born that way, but at least the middle level and the upper rich people, they are born with a silver spoon. I wasn't, maybe you were, I don't know, but you see, we had to struggle hard. When I went to US, I am not that educated. I'm a BCom 3rd division, failed in my 10th. I started life with a bucket in my hand, washing cars door to door. I didn't know where the next meal was going to come from. So we have different values from there. But today it is taken for granted. And they splurge money, they throw money, they don't care. And if the parents don't give the money, then they get mad at it and they are upset about it. And I don't blame the kids. Many times in schools and colleges, they invite me, say, Mr. Khera, talk to our kids. The values are messed up, discipline is messed up. I said, no. Parents are messed up. Today's parents are scared of their kids. They don't have the guts to say no to their kids. See, when we asked something to our parents and they didn't agree, from their eyes you could tell, you better not ask again.
Absolutely.
From the eyes you can tell.
So now let me take this. Again, accepting responsibility means doing action.
Right.
Our country needs a certain kind of action.
Of course.
And dare I say, I feel very proud to be born an Indian, and I feel very blessed to be in this culture. I love our religion, our scriptures, but somewhere we have too much mediocrity. We don't push the envelope. We cut corners. Jugaad, it's not a good word. In my vocabulary, there shouldn't be any jugaad for anything. We should do it perfectly. What do you have to say about what's going on in India today? What are we doing right? What can we do better?
Anurag, anywhere when you see success or you see failure, whenever you see, just look at the top guy. Just look at the leadership. And that will tell you, if the leadership is good, organization is great. If the whole thing is messed up, look at the leader. That leader is corrupt, cheat, crook. Why go that far? Even our parliament, it is public information come out in newspapers. 50% of the parliament has criminal records. Now, how do you expect good things to happen? It starts from there. They are role models. They are mentors. They are supposed to be mentors, but it starts from there. And I'm writing another book that is coming, The Corrupt and the Cowards Can Never Build a Great Nation. I repeat, corrupt and cowards can never build a great nation.
So we need to take brave decisions.
Of course, you have to, one has
but
to
you know, there is a culture that existed. How does one leader change the culture?
My friend, go ahead.
Can one person change the destiny of everyone? He is human or she is human. I mean, there is a culture, there is values, there are beliefs that are ingrained from the time we are born, and that determines our day-to-day behavior. How does one change that?
Anurag, go through history. Whenever change has taken place, always one person has brought it. Masses never brought it. Masses never brought the change. Always one person brought the change. Masses followed, but change was brought by one person. Let me share with you that one person, the visionary person. Nelson Mandela, one person. Martin Luther King, one person. Lincoln, one person. It is always one person that brings in the change. Masses follow. We are living in a democracy. A leader has to make three kinds of decisions in life. One is called decision of command. 2, decision of consultation. 3, decision of consensus. Decision of command is, you are the CEO, commander-in-chief, you are alone, you have to decide. Okay, 1. You look at Lee Kuan Yew, one person changed the country. And I know what is the next question that comes to people's mind. Oh, it's a small country. Let me ask you, if you don't have proper values and integrity and system, you can't even manage a family of 5 people. 5 people you can't manage. What are you talking about, small country?
Everyone's putting in their own direction.
No, my point I'm trying to make is that culture always starts from the top. So, decision of command is a commander-in-chief. 2, decision of consultation. Many times you hear, leader is good, but his advisors are bad. This is rubbish. Tell me, who chooses the advisors? Always the leader himself. And in life, we do not get advisors, the kind of people we want. We get advisors, the kind of people we are. And one more, we don't get friends in life, the kind of people we want. We get friends, the kind of people we are. You see, you notice a crooked entrepreneur will have a crooked attorney, crooked accountant as his advisor. A honest entrepreneur will have an honest attorney, honest accountant as advisor. See, so this is all nonsense that the system is bad. Who the bloody hell created the system? You are the one who created the system. You are at the helm. And you know, people who are corrupt, they like a messed up system. They like a bad system. You know why? They don't get caught. They don't get caught. This is called decision of consultation. There's a third thing called decision of consensus. And let me share with you, consensus is built on the principle of democracy. Majority vote wins, and whatever majority decides should prevail. That's what we should do. Question is consensus always right? Answer is no. Most of the time the consensus is wrong. The greatest leaders in the world never created consensus. They never had consensus, they always created consensus. Lincoln was the only person in the parliament stood up against slavery. The entire consensus was against him. And I just want to share one little thing based on the time factor. You see, consensus is based on principles of democracy.
Correct.
Democracy, not character. Democracy, principles of democracy. Now look at this. Is consensus always right? Supposing there are 5 boys, they corner one girl, 4 want to rape her. Consensus is rape is the right decision. A democracy principle says majorities should win. According to democracy, raping is the right decision because majority wanted it. Question is, does it make it right? Answer is no. So keep in mind, democracy always does not make sense.
Mr. Khera, you also brought in this, you admitted a petition in the courts of making nota significant, if I may say. Talk to our audience about why do you feel so strongly about the quality of elected representatives, and how can we change that?
See, with 50% of parliamentarians having criminal records, with these people, do you think you can have a great country? Answer is no. Only quality people will bring a equality country. And that's why I have filed a petition in the Supreme Court on nota, that nota should be treated as a candidate. See, today what has happened, there is 50-60% voting. Now, why don't people go to vote more than that? They say, well, they are all criminals, no good, who do I go to vote for? So they abstain. This is called passive protest. I won't go. Passive way of protesting. But then if you don't go to vote, you're not a good citizen. Then if you do go to vote, who do you vote for? So what do? They either vote for caste or they vote for the weakest criminal. Hear this, they vote for the weakest criminal. Now the weakest criminal wins. He's got power. Now he becomes the strongest criminal. This is what is going on. Is this democracy? This is the biggest joke on democracy. No, let me finish. Who does he vote for? The weakest criminal wins. Now question is this democracy? Did you want him to win? Does he represent you? This is the biggest joke. So what we have put in the petition is that nota should be treated as a candidate. If nota wins, then all these candidates should be disqualified from that one constituency for that one election and one upcoming election. What will this do? This will open doors for new people, good people to come in, number one. And number two, it will force these political parties to put good candidates rather than getting criminals into their party. And this is what has been doing for the last so many years. Every criminal is joining into one party. They become the biggest criminal party today. And they say, we are principled. Yeah, what principle? This is nonsense. They are traitors. I'm using the word, they are traitors. They ought to be fired and thrown out.
Mr. Khera, now let me shift to you. You've been doing this for almost 5 decades now.
Not really, but 3 decades.
Yes. At least I encountered you 3 decades back. I was in the business school and I read your first book. Now, what has changed since the time you started doing this? And what has stayed the same? So hence, what are the needs of your audiences that you reach out through your books, through your seminars, through your workshops? What is still needed? It hasn't changed in the 3 decades.
Today, let me share with the speed of change, the way things are happening. Products are getting obsolete the day they're getting launched. And knowledge is getting obsolete within 2 to 3 years. Check out engineering and medical graduates. By the time they get to the 4th and the 5th year, what they learned the first year became obsolete. So it has become a cliche, the only constant is change. So I wrote an article, I'll send it to you also. It was published in Singapore HR magazine, received very well. I wrote in that going into the future, the only people who will succeed in life are those who master 3 skills. They have never changed, they will never change. They are constant. Master the constants and you are prepared for the future. What are the 3 things? 1 is people skills, 2 persuasion skills, 3 prioritizing skills. Why do I share people skills? Go check out all over the world. We don't have business problems. We have people problems. And when we take care of our people problems, most of our business problems are automatically resolved. 1. 2, go through history. Our parents, their parents, their parents, their parents. We are hired for our skills, but we are fired for our behavior. Not only as an employer-employee, even as a vendor. We are fired for our behavior. And 3, you notice the lower a person is in life, 90% of the time goes in technical skills, less than 10% people skills. Higher you go up, it just reverses. Means technology and technicians, you can always buy with money. And that will keep changing. But the wealthiest person in the world must build and create relationships. That's why I can go on and on. We do 4-day program. This is people skills. 2, Second thing, persuasion skills. What does the word persuasion mean, Anurag? It means four things: ability to influence, ability to convince, ability to negotiate, ability to sell. That's called persuasion. Now, there are people who say, I don't need it. I'm into IT, I'm into operation, I'm into finance. They are demonstrating basic foolishness. Who doesn't need it? Candidate at a job interview, what's he doing? Persuading. Boy, girl proposing to get married, what are they doing? Persuading. A lawyer arguing in front of the judge, what's he doing? Persuading. A politician giving speeches to get votes, what's he doing? Persuading. And in front of you right now, what am I doing? I am also persuading. See, I am sharing with you an idea. Based on my ability or inability to persuade, you are accepting or rejecting. When we don't need it, it is nuts. And which school is teaching all this stuff? Nothing, nowhere. This generation that is coming out of colleges, they are the most misfit generation today. They're good on technology, spend hours together, but you know, they're comfortable with the computers, but they're uncomfortable with people.
Absolutely.
And lastly, you see, it is prioritizing skills. Now I can go on, but let me cut it short.
Mr. Khera, my last question, and it's a bit of a rapid fire kind of round. So first, is there a bucket list Mr. Shiv Khera has?
Yes, I do.
And some items on the bucket list for
One item is to somehow get the Indian politicians to get into my leadership program. How you do it, I need your help. Let's do it. We'll have a great country, I'll tell you that.
We have all the ingredients. Second is people you have learned from or looked up to. I know in the book you say all the workshops I've attended, all the articles I've read, all the people I've met. But 2 or 3 people who you met in person and who had profound impact on you.
The greatest impact on my life was the life histories of 10 Sikh gurus. 10 Sikh gurus. You see, why I admire them, especially the Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, how he came in. See, not only did they have integrity, you see, they also had the guts to stand up and fight to protect integrity. The Mughals, they were there to convert into Islam, kill them. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib said, no, not accepted. He fought. They had the courage to fight. Today, all these people who talk of you should be peace-loving, you should be forgiving, this is the biggest nonsense going on around today. Peace-loving and forgiving. No. Who forgives? 2 kinds of people. Forgiveness is one, I'm writing an article, is forgiveness a virtue or stupidity? You see, Muhammad Ghori came here 10 times and Prithviraj Chauhan defeated them 10 times, but he let him go. But then he came 11, 12, 15th time and he came back again and defeated Prithviraj Chauhan, and after that took his eyes out, raped his wife, got his wife raped by 50 people. Why bloody stupid? He didn't come here to respect your mother. He came here to make slaves out of you. Why did you forgive him? We talk of Bhagavad Gita. This has been going on, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, for thousands of years, but we haven't learned a damn thing, not anything. Even in Mahabharata, when Karan was struggling with the wheel, at that time, Krishna said to Arjun, fire, kill him. He said, no, it goes against my principle of bravery to kill or fire at an unarmed person. And what did Krishna say? He said, you are foolish. He's not unarmed, he is disarmed. He's not unarmed, he is disarmed. 5 minutes ago, he was firing at you. You'd be killed. You would be killed. He is not unarmed. He has been disarmed by your strength. Fire, kill him. And he killed. What is forgiveness? And they talk of ahimsa. This is hinsa. This is hinsa. Even Ram killed Ravan. That is hinsa, man. What are you talking about? And they talk of compromise. Did Ram say, let us compromise between you and me? Let us divide Sita? It's rubbish. There is no compromise. When it comes to value, stand, be firm, and fight. And that is the only way. You want to live in peace? Be prepared to fight. Otherwise, you do not deserve peace at all.
Mr. Khera, your 3 predictions for future.
Well, my prediction part is that we need to club together and make a change of the scene in India and bring it into a great country. That is the most important thing. They say that we want to bring India as a Jagat Guru, Vishwa Guru and all that. I said, forget the Guru part. Make sure that your country does not get divided anymore. That's more important than anything else. 9 crore Bangladeshis and Rohingyas have come into this country. They have bloody well invaded this country. Not one bullet has been shot. What a nonsense. Show me a country where 9 crore people or 90 million people walk into your country and you are sitting quietly. This is, you are sitting on a time bomb. You are on a volcano right now. You are doing all the writing in the magazine. Go write it down. We are sitting on a volcano. This is rubbish. Heading for one more partition. And this is called so-called leadership. They are the biggest traitors in the country.
Thank you, Mr. Khera, for talking to us. I hope your forceful case that you make for all
Make it viral.
virtues.
Make it viral. Get it across to everybody. Get it to the PMO. Get everybody.
I hope this message gets to the right people and there is change. Till then, live while you're alive. In stressful times, how to find a life that is purposeful and helps you accomplish your goals and build a meaningful life. So, all the best. Thank you, sir.